a strict muscle up in years. I just started my progressions again.
Bam, we're live. Blade, I want to do like I was Hiller had this thing where when I first met him a couple of years ago, where he wrote something on the board in his garage that was kind of like a fantasy workout, right? Like a workout that he wanted to do but didn't know he could do. I forget what he called it. And then he eventually did it, and so I wanted to do a workout like that too, like just
Batman.
That was
say it again. Oh, is that what it was called? Batman. Okay. So I was thinking, I should do something like that too. And I thought, what if I could do 10, 20 snatches with a 100-pound dumbbell, like right hand, left hand, one muscle up, 10 rounds.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Just to it's just a party trick kind of, but for me, it would be crazy. And so I was working my way up, training to do a 100-pound dumbbell snatch. And then I was lowering the 70 slow once, and something happened in the bicep. So it kind of derailed me like 6 months ago, but I think I've been taking those peptides, and then I had a massage from Andrew Hillary, came over to the house and gave me a shirtless massage, and shit.
That'll do it.
Everything seems to be back on track.
That'll do
it. Good to see you. How are things?
Man, well, good to see you too. And man, things are great, bro. To be honest.
You're safe? Everything's safe? It's a good life?
Yes, things are safe. Everything's safe. And then like you know already, I'm very easily entertained. And so I just find light in the little things. Like, for example, I don't know if you remember the exact layout, but this used to be a heavy bag. Now it's one of those folding racks.
Oh.
So the heavy bag was taking up a little bit too much space, and then it also allowed room for a ski erg.
Oh.
Yeah, see, so it's the little thing. So now I can really tear it up in the Blade Academy. That's what my neighbor named. So my neighbor named the gym.
For those of you who don't know, this is the third time Blade's been on the show.
Yeah.
Blade is Northern California. California is a state on the North American continent on the west side, facing the Pacific Ocean. And Blade is a police officer in that state, in the northern area. I guess you could say within 100 miles of me. And we just met through the podcast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're a CrossFitter.
Since I started in 2009.
Wow.
That was mainly CrossFit football. It was just for off-season training, but then after my senior season, I didn't make it to the league, and then 2010, I started CrossFitting with. Do you remember Gabe Subry?
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
He was my first. He was my first coach. Him and Garrett Fisher were like and there was a cat named Vince Carter, my first training partners. And Gabe and Vince, they ran CrossFit 209 Sport. They told me you could either pay and come in like with regular people, or you could come train with us at 10 and at 2 for free. And I was like, all right, let's run it.
And here it is.
If you don't know who Gabe Subry is, everyone who owns a gym in California knows who Gabe Subry is. He has a 50,000 square foot, probably the largest CrossFit gym in the world by far.
Yeah.
Maybe it's even bigger than 50,000 square feet. It is massive. Dude. It is a beautiful facility with indoor, outdoor turf, massive clientele, and easily in his day, top 50 fittest man walking around on planet Earth. Oh yeah, there's the gym. Yeah, I think
200-meter track inside that gym.
Yeah,
is that what that is?
Yeah, so it has I think it's 60 yards. It has like 60-yard turf surrounded by a 200-meter indoor track, and that's just like this part. And then this part has basketball. No, not Vince Carter, the basketball player. Just he runs a youth sports program called Elevate. It's pretty cool. But and then on this part you have that, like, so that bottom right picture, you have like the a big old pull-up rig and open floor. And then in between what you're looking at and the track is this like big kind of auxiliary area with the basketball hoop and storage. And then further over, you have their big ass muscle up rig and specialty area with like bench and chains and another pull up bar and this area to do stuff. It's it's pretty cracking.
And it's quite the eclectic crowd there. Everyone, obviously, you see Blade worked out there, and then other people like the Diaz brothers and the Diaz Academy. Famous UFC fighters, amongst shitloads of other people who take their fitness very seriously, and those who don't have worked out there. I think I went there for his 10th anniversary with Greg. I think we visited. And Gabe's a beautiful man with a beautiful wife. And a very.
He looks like Jason Statham.
Yes, yes. And they run a beautiful community over there. Hey, how far was that commute to go there?
Oh, I live on the same street. It's on something called 8 Mile Road. No, it's a long ass road. But
okay. I didn't know you were from there. Okay.
We were at the same party. Didn't even know.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, because I met Glassman. He's cool. I met Glassman, and being that you were at that party, it wasn't the same damn party.
Yeah, it was the same. It was the same party. The place is so huge; it'd be so easy to miss you. The place is huge.
You sit on the left wing the whole time.
And then what year did you become? Refresh me. What year did you become a police officer?
2015. That was when I joined the academy. I hit the streets early 2016, like in March.
So you're 9 years in.
Damn near.
Yeah, yeah. Coming this, okay.
That just sound weird. Like I almost said, nah.
You think of how much pause for a minute there. He's like, oh shit.
Hey, Blade, I had Julie Gentry on the show years ago, CrossFit Games champion from 2007. She's got 20 years in down in, I don't know, like Fremont area. She was a cop, and then she did SWAT, and then I think now she got like promoted to like a desk job. But she was telling me it takes 3 years in a position as a police officer to like really settle in and know the ropes. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Like I've heard 3 to 5 is like that ballpark, because when you start the first 6 months to a year, you're just chasing your tail. Like shit's happening, then you're processing it, then you're fucking up on your report, and then it starts to go, okay, shit's happening and I'm processing it, but then you're still fucking up on your report. And then when things finally come together, then some shit happens that you ain't never seen before, and then you don't know what the fuck to do. Then you learn how to deal with that kind of situation, and then you learn how to delegate, because you have to there's a lot of undoing from when you were on training. When you're on training, they need you to learn how to do this, and so it's a lot of people just, okay, what you gonna do, Rook? But then after that, after you get the ropes a little bit, then teamwork is a little bit more encouraged. They don't let you drown. Their goal is to keep you from getting sued or keep you from getting killed. As long as they don't break one of those thresholds, it's like, all right, time to learn. Kind of like when your kid's doing something that is dumb, but it's just gonna kind of hurt them a little bit. Like, hey, they might have to learn this one on their own.
Being a cop reminds me of being a doctor, a lawyer, or a CrossFit gym owner. People are always like, hey, a 2-day course isn't. Hey, good morning, Susan. Sorry. Good morning, Matt.
Did you just come right here?
I just saw you. People say, hey, it's not enough training. It's not enough training. The point is, with being a cop or a doctor and a lawyer or a CrossFit gym instructor, you just have to have experience. No one's graduating from law school, even after 4 years. They have no fucking idea what they're doing. No one's leaving the academy knowing what they're doing. No one's finishing med school knowing what they're doing. It's like, hey, dude, it's part of the it's just the way life works. People need experience. People need on-the-job training.
Yeah.
Another one of my friends, and I guess you're lucky here by the way you were raised. Another one of my friends who's a cop is like, hey, dude, it's so weird. Being a cop is really just about talking to people. And I go, really? And he goes, yeah, dude, it's all personal skills. And he goes, And he goes, I think that's one of the biggest problems we have. I said, why? He goes, because we have the least naturally qualified people in the history of mankind at talking to people. And it does seem like that. I see a lot of young sheriff in my area. I'm in Santa Cruz, who almost seem averse to talking to people.
It's a lot of talking to people. Like you want to be prepared to protect yourself and do things like that, but there's a lot of times where just a good mouthpiece, good talking skills, just whether you need to be smooth, whether you need to be stern, finding the difference, reading the room kind of could fix a lot of things. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. First contact is huge. First contact is. I used to go to school at UC Santa Barbara, and I would see some cops, the second they entered an area, it would escalate. The kids would get agitated. And then there were other cops who entered the area and they could disarm people. It was amazing. It was an amazing skill. I don't mean to put this on women, but what I would notice with women cops is they would be a little more standoffish or try to use like a man voice or like try to and that while trying to overcompensate for maybe being a woman, they would always like set the kids off then. Like the people would see it as kind of like a challenge. I just remember these two cops because those were beat cops in Isla Vista where I went to school. Everyone was on foot, and they would walk around, and it was a really densely populated area. And it's like, and then the old man cop, he was just chill. Like, hey, what are you kids doing? And it would just, you know what I mean? Like he had learned.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they just saw grandpa.
Oh, there's definitely a lot of things you learn when it comes to, talking with finesse, or having to be a hard ass, and so, some people, like when it comes to, like when you said overcompensating, what do they call that? They call that little man syndrome. No, I guess it could be little person syndrome.
Careful.
I know, I guess it could be little person syndrome. I'm not even sure what the term is these days. You got to keep up.
Short man's complex, I think.
Short man complex.
Let's not ever talk about that again. Short kings.
Yeah, come on, guys. No offense, but
short kings and queens. Well, whatever it may be, though. Like, I think we talked about this a couple times ago. That it goes into overcorrecting. Like rather than overcorrecting, just maybe bump it up a little bit. But everything's dynamic because talking to people is very important no matter what you do. If you're a teacher, you need to learn how to relate to your students. It's dynamic every year, every class, whatever mood they're in, whatever's going on at home. But it's just unfortunate because when you're out on the streets, the stakes are a little higher and a little more dynamic and more dangerous,
Caleb, hi. I just saw you back there too. What's up, dude? Damn.
You got any notes?
Hey, no, I don't have any notes. Hey, Blade, who should become a cop?
oh, good question.
Who? Like the type of personality?
Yeah,
Okay.
Let's say the meaning in life. Let's say the meaning in life is to give yourself purpose, right? Let's say right. You wake up in the morning and you want to have purpose because that kind of makes it so. As Glassman told me one time, if you have purpose, you don't get sick, right? And purpose and you're excited to wake up in the morning. What kind of person can find purpose in being a police officer?
Right. And so, well, in today's climate, it could be one of those be the change you want to see in the world type people, because that's
like almost a religious man or a spiritual man, a man of high values.
Person of high values. That's a great one because integrity is pretty much all you got. Like if you get caught lying on a police report or something, or even just lying around the department, that could be curtains for you, because then, man, I'll tell you what, lawyers, boy, them boys will light your ass up in court.
Or not even for that reason. How will you live with yourself? You don't want to be in a job. Like I tell my kids, I was playing tennis with my kid the other day and I hit a ball and it went in and he called it out. And I walked up to the net and I go, hey dude, that looked like that was in. And he goes, hey, it's my call. And I go, I know it's your call, but I'm afraid that if you're not telling the truth, the rest of the game, that's going to be fucking in your mind. He's 6, right? I'm like, that's going to be in your fucking mind, and you're going to have to be guarding that lie instead of like trying to beat me. He's like, it was in. I said, you're smart. Yeah, you don't want to have to guard it. You don't have to go to work every day or finish the game protecting a lie.
Right.
You don't want to be in it. I tell them all the time. I said, if you anywhere you lie, then when you're in jiu-jitsu and you're in a fight with another kid, instead of being able to beat that kid up, you're going to be like protecting a lie. Don't waste any energy protecting lies. It's stupid.
And that shit, it gets hard. Like if you lie, then you have to, put a little dirt over that. And then you got to put more dirt over that pile, then sweep that under the fridge. And then, then you get caught up. Then you're stuck. Especially
Did they teach you that in the academy?
Yeah,
like on a deep level. I mean, I'm sure they say, "Hey, you can't lie," but on a does anyone go on a deeper level with it? Like, gentlemen, you have to have integrity. Gentlemen, this will set you free. Gentlemen, this will leak over into the rest of your life. Gentlemen, here are some practices to work on your integrity. Is it deeper than just a rule? You know what I mean? Because these are things people don't tell you. People are like, don't lie, it's wrong. It's like, no, there's some real practical reasons to fucking not lying.
Right. I haven't gotten talked to about how it could eat you from the inside, or like on a spiritual level, or anything like that. But there was some brass talked to me about it just before I even went into the academy, just on how the snowball effect of it, on how it could just eat you alive and lead to another thing. Or just think about it, like whether lying, stealing, they're very close to each other. We deal with a lot of drugs, we deal with a lot of money, and so fuck, man, $100 ain't bad. This dope dealer got how much cash? Well, this money won't be missed. It's just gonna go here anyway, booked in the evidence, held here. Or, man, he's gonna post bail and have somebody get this money back from him anyway. $100 won't hurt. $1,000 won't hurt. Whatever it may be, until it does. That's kind of my rebuttal answer, is until it does, or until you don't. And that kind of keeps me in the loop, keeps me in the game.
Matt, Matt Burns, would Sevan make a good cop? We know he likes to call him. Isn't Matt Burns the one whose wife we're going to promote her products? Smart move, Matt. That away. Keep fucking with me. Keep fucking with me. No, I'm just joking. Hey, Matt, I do want to get in contact with your wife. By the way, and I am very excited about we'll help promote her stuff, by the way. No problem. You're a great listener. Speaking of calling the cops, I do call the cops a lot. I called the cops last week. I walked into the bathroom at the skate park in Aptos, California, and there was a crack pipe in there. And I could have easily just picked the crack pipe up and threw it away. But I called the cops because I wanted the cops to know that shit's going on there.
Yeah.
Right. And the guy came and he was cool as shit and we talked. Right or wrong, you think like these guys in the comments just want to call me a pussy all the time. Cops. And you know what? There was a time in my life where I hated cops, and I had it like that was one of my vows, is to never call the cops, handle everything on my own. But I'm not like that anymore. I see a cop, I walk up and I'm like, hey, thank you I have 3 boys, and it's you guys wandering the streets make me feel safe. Did I do the right thing? I saw a crack pipe in the bathroom and call the cops.
Yeah, I'd say you did the right thing.
Oh shit! You're just saying that because you're on my show. I'm not believing you.
He's like, "Fuck, I got to deal with this when you showed up. Throw it away, man."
So,
don't you guys want to know? Don't you have to don't you want to know that there was a crack pipe in your area, so that like you could be like, okay, and then you like mark it somewhere, the 18th crack pipe found in this bathroom this week or some shit.
Yeah. So your reason for calling is what kind of saved you, because like you've dealt with and seen a lot of things. So
tons of my friends used to have crack pipes. I used to smoke weed out of a crack pipe. Never smoked crack out of it, but I used to smoke weed out of it.
Hold on, my damn motion sensor drives a little bit. let me grab a little here.
It's fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab this and just do this every once in a while.
Do you have kids, Blake?
Grab my daughter's little wad toy.
Oh shit, you do have kids. Okay.
I got three of them.
Wow.
Yeah, but all right, but anyway, so initially I was like depending on who it is.
Hold on one second. I want to look at how Kenzie, no, Sevan would not make a good cop. With peace and love, it's a no, dog. All right.
Hey, so
Pictures.
let me
I've
attack
never
that
seen
real
her
quick.
before. Okay,
So
good.
I think you'd be surprisingly with your life experience, you'd be surprisingly relatable. Now, there's more than just that goes into being a cop, but I think you'd manage better than a lot of people think off top. But then when it came to the things you have to do, I'm not sure how you deal.
You seem like a good volunteer cop, like a good junior cop.
Yes. Like in one of them,
Oh, I'm gonna
in
get
one of
you
them
back for that,
cars
Blade.
that
I got
just
something
made-
for you, Blade. I always come armed to these shows. I got something for you. So wait a second. Let's go back to that. Did I not? Should I not have called about the crack pipe? Should I just picked it up and thrown it away myself?
No, it's not. But it's actually a good idea to call because if you didn't document it, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
the fact that somebody could have responded, that's cool because it's worse when you call and then you expect us to be there in 12 seconds, not knowing what else is going on in the city
Yeah.
or what may be going on, period.
I didn't even expect them to show up, and they did show up like within minutes, but I didn't even expect them to show up.
And so just for the fact that the reason you called is cool because, you want documented and who knows, 5 years down the road, like, look, if we pull up these, how many drug-related calls do we have at a skate park? Is this skate park supposed to be this? And no, we're not talking your innocent weed type stuff. We're talking, look, we have 76 fentanyl-related incidences. 22 of those were overdoses. And we have 8-year-old kids coming here, things
Well,
like
I could
that.
have saved some kid's life, is what you're saying.
Yeah, down the road, possibly. You never know where these ripples lead to.
Okay, let me tell you about these other cops. Okay, so that was 2 weeks ago. Let me tell you last week when I called the cops. A little different. I'm destroying my reputation here. Matt Burns, I'm right here there with you, Sevi. I had a disdain for cops while in college when I was arrested many times. Yeah, I was arrested a shitload of times. I was held fucking 100 times in my life. Had to sit on a curb somewhere. So I was at this other skate park in Santa Cruz, different skate park. And I got there early in the morning, not that early, 9:30. It's a tough skate park, but if you go in the morning, none of the tough guys are there. So I take my kids there in the morning, and I fucking pull up, and there's a dude fucking cleaning needles in the fucking drinking fountain.
Oh, Lord.
And I gotta fucking walk by him with my kids, right?
Oh.
So I don't call the cops, but 5 minutes later, I see there's a canal road that runs alongside the skate park, Mike Fox skate park, and there's 3 patrol cars on the canal trail coming by slowly, and the guys are looking for something. So I run over there against the chain link fence. I go, "Hey dudes," they're like, "Hey, what's up, man?" I said, "Hey, I just saw a dude cleaning needles in the drinking fountain over here." And then they came down and around, and of course I had a picture of him because I snapped a picture of the dude and I showed him to him, and they said, "Yeah, no problem. We'll keep our eyes open for him. Thank you." What about that? Was that okay? Listen, people, you assholes, don't judge me. I'm making myself vulnerable. What do you think about that one?
But yeah, especially since you're just like, oh yeah, hey, just a heads up. You know what I mean?
Just a heads up. Like, hey, what's up? And I just thanked them for what they do. Just a heads up. Yeah.
Yeah, not the end of the world. The part that sucks is like
about these guys judging me for fucking being friends with the cops. That part sucks.
Hey, I know they are.
I'm even feeling a little bit of it from you, Blade. You're like, he's a snitch.
That's just you're just projecting, Sevan. It's all good. We love
okay. All right. Thank you, Caesar. All right. I see Caleb even there kind of pushing his way from the chair. I didn't know I was with a snitch 2 years ago.
So
community leader.
So
community
there may be
leader. I like that. I need a shirt, Travis.
It's just so when we're out there, we do and see so many things that the normal person shouldn't see, and so some of it we forget is like a big deal to people. Now to you, it's not the biggest deal. You're just trying to let them know. You're trying to keep things safe, but you forget that. Oh man, Susie's never seen a crack pipe before. She like this.
Right,
this might have jarred her whole world. Oh my God. You know what I mean? It's sometimes it's easy to forget that, and quite frankly, unfortunately, a needle in and of itself, not a crime.
Right.
A glass pipe in and of itself, not a crime. Now it's the stacking of these things, of these coincidences. Like, oh, you just happen to have a glass pipe with that substance in it, with burn marks, things with this certain smell, things like that make it a crime. And so a lot of the times people will be, oh, hey, just so you know, there's a guy sitting behind there with his sleeping bag. It's like, okay. And then they expect you to just turn the lights on.
Yeah, and for all I know, that guy was just a fucking type 2 diabetic.
Right. And so sometimes it's like, all right, well, cool. Thank you for letting us know. And then we got to keep it moving from there, because especially in the current state we're in, let me think about how you just have to tread carefully on a situation, because a lot of times if things happen, even if you're doing your best just to keep people safe, and something just gets something gets thrown in your lap, a soup sandwich gets thrown in your lap, then you might be holding an L more than just, oh, I got put on paid leave, or I got put on days on the beach. That's unpaid leave. It might be a situation where your family's situation, your ability to put food on the table, your ability to not be in jail are affected. Like things are changing. It's witch hunt might be aggressive, so I'm not saying it's like kind of a witch hunt, because sometimes these wrongs need to be righted on a serious level. But to say that a target, it doesn't feel like a target's on our backs a little bit bigger than ever before, I think I'm speaking for myself that seems accurate. Oh, I forgot my little disclaimer. Everything I say on this podcast is I do not represent all police officers, all everywhere, all SWAT, or anything like that.
You just represent yourself.
Correct.
There's a shortage of police officers, right?
Yeah, so it used to be like when I got in, it was hard to see who was hiring. It was hard to find places hiring. It was like, God dang. Or then you would put in places and you would go to test, and then you'd be in a full-on cafeteria with a bunch of seats, almost elbow to elbow taking tests. Now, I haven't been in any of those, but it's been a long streak of people hiring, people or people moving, things like that. People are lateraling out depending on the city. Now, I'm fortunate enough to work in a city where our community appreciates us and we kind of reflect each other well. Now, just like every city, there's some L's. We hold some L's, things like that. But I work in a place where the community to officer engagement is pretty solid. But there's other places where it's not like that. And like I said, now if you mess up, it could be not just you getting in trouble, getting slapped on the wrist at work. It could be some serious stuff. And so when you weigh that risk and reward and it doesn't quite line up, then people are like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
Yeah, well, the thing is you're putting you want society to have your back because you're putting so much at risk. So you put yourself in life and death situations, and I shouldn't speak for you. I would like society to give cops way more room and patience and compassion, since they're putting themselves in so many high pressure situations day in and day out, from the second they wake up, from the second they put their fucking gun on their hip. Just like you said, Susie Joe might see a crack pipe and she's never seen one before. That's like 90% of people. But 95% of the population, you could pull out your revolver and touch them with the butt of it and they would faint. That's how scared they are of guns. And yet we need you to strap that thing fucking to you and be responsible for it while you walk around on the streets. It's crazy.
It's a slippery slope, because I almost feel like there is necessary for there to be a respectful level of fear. not just like not a bully level of fear, like from an intimidation standpoint, but just like, hey, this person's locked in, this person's squared away. I should listen to this person because in the greater, they're really looking out for my best interest in an overall standpoint. Or
I agree with you. I agree with you
just
100%.
gain some perspective, but it feels like that respective fear is fading into the abyss a little bit.
Hey,
not completely, because more often than not,
I think it's coming back though. I think it's coming back.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. More often than not, people are locked in and squared away. It's just social media highlights a lot of the FTP culture. You know what I mean?
I don't.
And
well,
so
you know what?
That's what we see.
Well, my algorithm shows the need for cops more than ever, and we'll get to that in a second. My algorithm just shows me so much fucking crazy shit. Like I see shit on my Instagram every day that I know you're not gonna like this, but that person just needs to be just shot.
Like
I sent you a video of someone holding a Roman candle, firing it at a police car. I say shoot that person down.
Right. And like you gotta think like that's a deadly weapon.
Yeah.
What you were talking about, that thing looked like a whole ass bazooka. I don't know if it's because I'm a square or I was too busy playing sports or whatever it may be, but I ain't never seen no shit like that in my life.
Yeah. I don't
that thing was this damn big. Go pow, pow, pow.
Yeah, that was crazy. Let me see if I can.
People then something happens, right? And what do you expect? That would be kind of that's kind of the answer. Like,
yeah,
what do people say? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Yes.
Yeah,
But it's not that simple anymore. You know what I mean? That you feel like it should be okay. This led to this. Good. 1 + 1 = 2. But somehow we're like, whoa. What's in between the ones? And, you know what I mean? And so then, but you shouldn't have been there in the first place. Well, yes, I should have. And oh man, it's wild. Yeah, this it right here, right?
Yeah. This is
show,
What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't have any tolerance for that. I don't have any tolerance for that. Zero tolerance for that.
And
no.
So
what if one of the, I don't know how cars work, but what if something happened and that caused that car to ignite? Hey, there's another viral video going around. I don't know if you've seen it, where they're lighting fireworks in the front yard and one goes underneath the gas tank of a fucking car. Yeah,
bro,
and all the people are sitting on the the family's sitting on the lawn, and a lady grabs a fucking baby and has to run with it. And I'm like, dude.
Yeah. And stopping things before they happen ain't cool anymore. You know what I mean?
What did you say?
Stopping things before they happen aren't cool because they didn't happen yet. And so therefore you're there for no reason. You're doing this like it. So for example, that same little firework party. So many Sydney ordinances. I can't say all, but so many Sydney ordinances have it in writing that fireworks are illegal or subject to fine or whatever.
Right.
So let's say Joe Cop goes riding by that same family situation. For those who haven't seen it, it's a family sitting in like a front yard. Yeah. Just having a good jolly old time. Not even lighting like the illegal fireworks going crazy.
Crazy ones. Just the ones, the boxes on the ground and shit. Yeah.
And so they light something but it malfunctioned. It said puke and landed under like the bed of a truck in a driveway.
Yeah.
Now, why they lit it so close, I'm not sure. I'm a middle of the street kind of guy, but I digress. It goes under, and exactly what you think would happen kind of in Hollywood happens. Like this. This thing caught some kind of fluid under the truck, and a big old explosion came. And luckily, people got out of Dodge before it got real. But I just wanted to paint that picture. So then Joe Cop comes by and God damn, forgot to do my wave. Hold on.
I like it. I like it how you keep disappearing like that.
These comments about to give me.
I like it. Yeah. Just so you know, every time you see that, you've wasted 10 minutes of your life watching this podcast.
Well, I was doing a good job remembering to do this for a minute, but then I got caught up. Anyways, so the Joe cop goes by just trying to be by the book guy. You know, there's a balance of cops. You got the by the book guy, then you got the that's not that big a deal guy, and then you got a bunch of people in between. And so Joe cop comes by and wants to stop them, and the parents are like, "Oh no, oh!" Then all of a sudden he's the worst cop in the whole world. Or one dad wants to have a dick measuring contest, and somehow, I don't know how it would happen, but somehow the cop gets in a use of force with the dad because he didn't want to comply. And now it's painted, cop whoops dad's ass in front of 4-year-old.
Yeah.
Kids are screaming on the video.
and then all you see, the only part you see is the cop in the fight with the dad with his wrestling, or the cop gets his ass whooped, and now there's 3 more cops there. Can you see how just easily it snowballs?
Yeah.
All because the cop was trying to stop the truck from blowing up and possibly messing up a 4-year-old.
Yeah.
Trying to be proactive. Doesn't pay.
Right.
Sevan, do you brag to your friends that you have a black friend who's a cop? I would brag about black friends and cop friends and gay friends. I'm that guy. So I got these 3 black guys who are my friend. I'm totally that guy. I got these 3 gay friends. I know these 2 dykes. They love me. I would tell all that shit. Yeah, I love my eclectic group of people. I got this Indian dude who owns a liquor store. He's the coolest dude ever. He always gives my kids the old bottles so my kids can roll them in their rock tumbler. Yeah, I love ethnicity and race. I love all that shit. I don't like how it's been weaponized, but I love all that.
And me too, because it's like,
yeah, I love Greek women with big old noses and fucking huge heads and fucking broad, skinny shoulders. Fucking love all that.
So I was gonna lean into it. I love black people with their big lips and
that too. I do. I love that too. I love all that too. Love a black woman with a huge butt. I love every woman with a huge butt.
No, I think that range is cool. It's good to have that range, and it's good to acknowledge it, because then you just got some bland ass people, ass regulars. No,
hey, dude, a zebra and the horse is the same fucking animal, and I fucking love a zebra. I love a zebra, and so it's like it's okay to admire people for their different ethnicities and make it. Everyone loves a fucking skinny Somali guy who's 7'1". Head looks like a shovel. Like everyone's like Manute Bol. You remember that dude?
Oh yeah.
Everyone loved him. Holy shit.
I ever tell you about in college when a girl was digging in? She was digging her heels into I don't see color.
Uh-huh. Oh,
I
like this.
And me and my friend were her partner in like this group project, and he's darker than me, and we're like, oh, we'll call her L without saying the name. Well, L, no, I get that you don't care that we happen to be black and you can treat us like equals, but you see color. No, I don't know what color you guys are. I was like, L. I was like, all right, so here's the deal, L. We're gonna play a game. I just punched you in the face and ran away. You don't know me. I'm a stranger. I just came, punched you in the face, and ran away. And the police came and asked for my description. What you about to tell them? And we're on a college campus with a bunch of college, and I hang out with college athletes with similar builds. So even my height, weight aren't gonna help too much.
Yeah.
But what? So we're either running back or linebacker or something.
Right.
And so that was when we finally got her in there, and she didn't even acknowledge that she would have to say black or dark skin, because even when you say black now, people think it's funny. But one of my first questions, somebody said black male, I go, well, are we talking me black or Steph Curry black?
Right.
Because that could change the whole dynamic of your search.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Spectrum. Yeah.
So that's another one. Even within the uniqueness, there's uniqueness. It's so just overcorrected on this whole, I don't see it. It's a little aggressive, a little bit aggressive.
Here we go.
This. Look at this. Is this white?
We're talking about.
Is this white?
We're talking about skin color.
I don't care. Is this white?
We're talking about skin color.
I don't care. Tell me your question.
Your skin
Is it
color
white?
is white.
No, it's not. This is
Not
white.
that white. That's
Yep.
an object. We're talking about skin color.
This is the same color.
You're white.
This is the option.
So what you think you
one.
are? You think what color are you?
I'm peach.
Bro.
Yep.
She's peach. She's
hey, me and my
peach.
daughter. Hey,
She's fucking peach.
I remember being 4 years old. I am not black, just like old girl. I am brown. Look, you know.
Yeah.
Probably about that age, actually.
Because you care what words words mean. Okay, you ready? I'm gonna give you a fucked up scenario. You ready for this one, Blade?
Here we go.
Pedophilia is illegal, right?
Yes.
Today.
I saw the CDC is now calling breastfeeding chest feeding. Have you seen this?
Oh Lord.
Just released a couple days ago, and now they're actually getting behind medications that would allow men to lactate so they could breastfeed. And you started the show by saying things have changed, right? Like the landscape is changing.
Yeah.
What do you do if you're a cop and you get called and they're like, hey, that guy's a pedophile, and you're like, well, what did he do? And you're like, he's pushing that making that baby suck his tits.
So
like this shit's unfolding in real time. These aren't even isolated cases now. They're just popping up on Instagram now for me. Shitloads of them. And
right.
I'm like, well, here's a good question, Kenneth. What does the Center of Disease Control have to do with breastfeeding? Fucking great question. I have no fucking idea. But what the fuck is Blade supposed to do?
Right.
So now you walk up there and you're like, sir, you can't force a child to suck on your tits. And
he's like, it's ma'am.
And yeah, you're like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Hey, dude, you're in California. You're about to see one of those this afternoon.
Yeah, that's like,
hey, dude, I want to tell you something, and please, anyone, I'm totally open to being wrong, but I don't care whether you're gay, straight, lesbian. Everyone wants tits in their mouth. Everyone loves titties. Gay guys love titties. Straight guys love titties. Lesbian. Everyone loves boobs. Boobs are just awesome. I don't think anyone wants to be breastfed by a man.
I definitely don't.
I don't think anyone does. I don't. Look at Audrey. Look at our first look. I love titties. Yeah, there you go. There's a straight woman. Sorry, I didn't even include straight women in my story. And so, like, what are you gonna do? That can't be the only thing that's come up in your world like that, right? Now it's like what do you do? Let me give you a little easier question. A man, you arrest a man, but he says he's a woman. What do you do with him? Where do you take him? Like, let's say he's breaking into let's say he's taking change off of a parking meter. You see he's hitting a parking meter with a sledgehammer, and you arrest him, and it's clearly a dude, right?
Yeah.
But he says he's a woman. What do you do with him?
Well, luckily for me,
yeah,
that's a jail and intake thing. I arrest the person.
Oh, okay.
Whether you're a man or woman.
What about frisking them? What if they're like, hey, I want a woman to frisk me?
Yeah, that's an unfortunate situation for some women officers. They might have to drive their ass smooth across the city.
Even though he's got a penis, he can still ask for a woman.
It's mainly if feasible, because like one cool part is we got body.
If I was a chick and some dude demanded me to frisk him, I would fucking squeeze his balls so hard he'd never ask for a woman again. It's fucking nuts, dude.
It's so
completely inappropriate.
No, but there's times where, like, if I'm in a situation where I got to search somebody, and more often than not, it's a timely thing. You know, a lot of times it doesn't make sense to wait, because if you're searching somebody, it might be for weapons, and if you're just sitting there and they have a suspected weapon, it might come back and get you.
You mean regardless if it's man or woman? If you thought a woman had a knife, you would search her anyway.
Yeah, well, yeah. A freaking 6-year-old with a weapon could hurt me if I'm not ready.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
And so that's where our body cameras come into play a lot, because then it highlights how legit you were actually being versus any false allegations that there may be. There was a situation where I made sure, like, my partner was searching a woman, and I just happen to be standing facing both of them. And that's how it should be. But a lot of times, you might be watching your own back, looking around. So your camera's doing this because it's on our chest. Your camera's doing this. But I just happen to be fixed on them, watching him search her, and then hitting around like this. And later on, it came out that there was a complaint on him that he sexually harassed her, but it went nowhere because my camera clearly showed that it was good to go, like 100%.
Why do you think she did that?
Oh, just taking
Money?
a shot. Oh,
Do you think that she really thought she was sexually harassed?
no.
No.
Like, and that's me not in her head, but
Right.
ain't no way. Like, don't flatter
Imagine
yourself.
ruining
You know what I'm
someone's
saying?
life
Ain't
for
no
that.
need-
Imagine
ain't
ruining
no
someone's
trying
life
to-
for that.
Like, I'm not trying to sexually harass you. You know what I mean? Like, sure, no, yeah, I'm sorry, you're not my type, sweetheart.
That's crazy. It's that's a tough one. I default, maybe I don't know. I always default to the woman's telling the truth.
and that's not a bad starting point because you don't want a world where you just poo-pooing whatever they say. And,
Right.
and then bad things, and that's you. And I appreciate you saying that because you got 3 boys. Now, I mean, I
Yeah.
got 3 daughters, so I'm definitely. Oh, where are you at?
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? But then at the same time, you have to have pause because you've seen, or not you, but I've seen and learned that there's also a lot of false allegations out there, and those could ruin somebody's
Those
life.
will ruin
Even
someone's life.
allegations. People don't care about a lot of times the fact that the allegations were false don't even come to light. It's all about the allegations on the front end, and then you are crucified for however long until the evidence comes out that you didn't do anything.
Right.
And then by then you've lost.
It doesn't even matter.
You know
Once
what I'm
you've
saying?
been, yeah, dude. I mean, that was the thing with the little New York Times section about me. Anyone could have gone and watched the podcast with Stacey Tovar that they fucking painted me as a fucking creep and an asshole. Anyone could have gone and watched it. And the thing too, Blade, is that when they accused me of shit in the paper, I didn't even go back and watch it because I was afraid they were right.
Yeah.
It wasn't until years later that Andrew Hiller made a video and was like, "This is what he got in trouble for," and I was like, "Holy fuck! I'm actually really fucking cool and nice." It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm a black man. Because I feel guilty even when I'm not, right? That's one of the thank you. Audrey, we had our first transgender at Gold's. Audrey works at Gold's Gym. We don't have a family bathroom. He gets to go into the women's, just waiting for the Southern women to burn it down.
Oh, man. And so
Stay
with
ready,
the-
Blade. Oh, that's some good. Look at Audrey. You're a
Audrey's
good
on
lady.
fire in the comments today.
Stay ready.
Getting
Yeah,
active.
you can opt for the opposite sex to frisk you. That's basically you can. And that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's an actual thing. Like, oh, I don't want, but I'm also, so just for transparency, I'm also not going to paint us as these good old Eagle Scouts because I guess I was naive because when I hear about some of the things that cops get hung up for and like actually doing, not just accused for, but actually doing, I'm like, what? Hold on. What? You know what I mean? And then I'm like, am I naive or is this for real?
Well,
You
they're
know,
just people. They're just people, right? They're just
But,
people.
like, I'm talking
People with
shit,
authority.
shit that I can't. Like, there was an officer who I forgot what kind of call he responded to, but he's in a house. He's either in a house or an apartment, and he just starts beating his meat. And there's minors in there and everything. Start beating it.
What?
I'm like, what?
Like-
In my head,
What city was that? What city was that?
I think it was San Jose. If Oh, motherfucker.
Hey, do you remember the guy's name by any chance? Not that I want you to say it, but do you remember it?
I don't. No, I don't. 100%. I don't. I'm
Souza,
sorry.
do you think that cop was a black cop, a white cop, or a Mexican cop?
White.
Black. Yeah, white. Yeah, I think so too. Not black dudes don't do that.
No hesitation.
Do you know if he was a black cop, a white cop, or a Mexican cop?
I know he wasn't a brother.
He wasn't, brother. Yeah, brothers don't do that so much.
But yeah, I don't.
You know there's a light switch, right?
Are you?
Good.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, look, it takes a woman to be like, you could just turn
Hey,
a light on in here.
Yeah, hey. So
There's a switch over here. Oh, look, there he is.
Fucking nailed it.
Mexican Dominguez. There.
Oh, I thought it was my dude, Matthew Dominguez.
Hey, only accused, not found guilty.
All right, so I
Right,
told
right.
myself I was about to stay out the comments, but I just opened it. This damn pool boy, this stupid ass pool boy said like tenderizing a steak or pulling out his penis aggressively.
Maybe he just itched.
Oh Lord. But all right, never. I digress. Let me refocus.
Yeah, how aggressive was it?
Hey, do you know Pool Boy? Have you guys trained together? Do you know him?
No, but
No.
it's one of those 6 degrees of separation kind of things. Like I know somebody who was a homeboy with him. I know of him.
Strong
like
dudes know strong dudes.
Exactly. Like if he was CrossFitting hard, then then you run into people.
Yeah. Okay.
He's cracking from what I know.
What he's fun, that's for sure. Hey,
Yeah.
what's the status? Let's talk about fitness for the police officers. What can you get so fat that you lose your job? Could you get so out of shape that they fire you?
If you can,
Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, I was gonna say if you can, I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Like maybe get so out of shape that you should is a different realm. But
at some point you're a carbohydrate addict, right? Just like so if you were addicted to methamphetamine, you can't be addicted if they found out you were addicted to methamphetamines as a cop.
That's a
you'd be
bad
fired.
day.
Yeah.
But
if you're addicted to carbohydrates and you put on 300 pounds and you could barely, hey, is there any weird shit? Have you seen it? Like you get onto a plane and they have extra seatbelts for fat people. Is there any shit like, or like now wheelchairs are like crazy wide, or like the X-ray machines at the hospital, they got like huge ones now that you can like stuff the 400 pounders in. Have you seen any stuff like that in your field? Like, for cops, like obese cops?
So it's only for in writing. I think it's for your gun belt, but there's a seatbelt extender. But
is.
I don't like it. I don't like it. So like it's probably like this long right here, and you put you click it into your seatbelt and it makes it so your seatbelt click goes out here. And I guess there's practicality to it, but me and a lot of other in shape officers don't like it. I don't know an officer who happens to be in decent shape that does like it. And so that'd be the only accommodation specifically for size that I see. But even that, it's not for size. It's more so for because if you're right-handed, you don't want your seatbelt to clip onto your gun.
Mm-hmm.
But to our credit, I haven't really seen much like over-the-top accommodations just for the sake of being hella big.
Do you see any fat cops? I don't. Sean here is saying, if I needed to get away from cops in my town, I would 100% turn into a foot race. Probably average 45 to 60% body fat on our officers. I don't have fat officers in my town in Santa Cruz.
So funny that you say that, because a few years ago, my entire team would join me for a workout before shift. And they would, we have 4-day work weeks at a time. And it was probably a 75% attendance rate.
Wow.
And I happened to be first on scene for one of the few calls that warrants a foot race or a foot chase. And so I'm running. And then a couple of the other boys come, they park, and then we're in like 3 deep in a foot chase, and we got them. And I remember thinking, oh, he chose the wrong shift. all the times you try to dip, you chose the wrong one, and you chose the wrong group.
There was a video, I don't know, it's 10 years ago, of a cop who's in a foot race in a field, and he catches the guy, and he stands over him and he goes, "I CrossFit, dude." Did you ever see that footage?
I did, but
it was in a big
crazy.
field, like behind a high school. He just in the wide open chases a dude down.
I said that, so I yelled that to some probably like 13-year-olds who were starting to run. I said, I yelled, "I'm in shape. I got all day." And they started, but they stopped.
Hey, what happens when they stop like that? Are you cool with them? Like, do you give them a little bit of is there a little bit of love there, like that they stop?
Yeah. So I'm a person, you know what I'm saying? That's what I remind people. Like, if you stab me, that shit gonna hurt. I'm not RoboCop, you know what I mean? And depending on like the level of what we're dealing with, we can pull things back. You know, if I can, I will. You know, because you might. It's like equity. It's karma. You know, and so if you might be somebody's first encounter with a police officer, and then if you go about it come incorrect or come sideways, that could ruin. That could domino into so many things. Now, but there's a balance, because if you get got, then you look like a sucker, and then you need to learn to find that balance down the road. I learned that as a rookie. But yeah, I catch these kids, you know, you catch up to them. What the hell's wrong with you? You knew you watch too much TV. You know, the running from the cops ain't cool. What if you jumped into the wrong backyard and got eaten up by a pit bull? You know, I mean, little things like that. So you just have these little conversations with them. Try to avoid going into too far into lecture mode, just so you don't lose them, and then keep it moving. Get to the point where they learn something, and then sometimes you do got to bring the hammer down, because you kind of read the room and know, this is a POS, or this ain't this person's first rodeo, or they're not even trying to meet with me and level with me right here, or they're not taking any accountability. It's every situation is different. Which kind of segues into, you know, like foot chases and things like that. Hold on.
Tell them about the kids that do the AA.
Okay. Close the door.
What do you mean? She's advising you. Tell her to leave the door open. What are you talking about?
Yeah. I'll
She's helping you out. She's helping you out. What the fuck?
All right. So.
Wow. He just kicked someone. He kicked out his partner.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit that. I'm gonna hit that right now. But
you can hit that after the show. You can hit that after the show.
No, I'm gonna hit it right after this. You said what kind of people should be cops or whatever. I remember in my oral interview, I said, dang, I just tossed the alley-oop to the comment section talking about oral.
And hitting that. You were hitting that differently than I was. I thought you should hit it after the show.
My oral interview, I remember like one of the questions was something along the lines of why do you want to be a police officer or whatever. And growing up, I view cops, firefighters, all them, I view them as protectors. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so those are also the types of people that need to become, well, not need to, but that I think would be good. The ones that still legitimately feel that they are protecting, you know, feel that they're serving a purpose to protect this group from this group. Because right here you have somebody with bad intentions, and right here you have somebody unsuspecting, possibly never been in a fight in their life. And the only thing stopping that from happening is the middle ground. Or even the only thing to stop it continuing from happening, because a lot of times we're responding to things. And the only thing that stops it from continuing to happen is that middle ground. Or like you to call it the social contract. I never heard of a social contract. But before I knew what one was, but I never heard anybody talk about the social contract before you mentioned that.
Like what we do, like you don't park your car in front of your mailbox. You put your trash cans out facing the right way. The police officer turns the sirens on. Everyone pulls over to the right.
Exactly.
Don't be a fucking idiot and block the fire driveway. You know, just like some simple shit.
And so I'm
And that's why some people are better than other people, by the way. They say no one's better than anyone. Like, don't walk around thinking that you're better than anyone. But if you see someone doing dumb shit, you're better than them. Like there's like if you see someone break a bottle on public land, you're better than that. Like on a sidewalk somewhere, you're better than that person. That person's a douchebag.
Yeah. Like I see what you mean. Like it's a flow chart of choices. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
You're
Littering.
giving or you're taking.
Littering is fucking crazy. Like we all live here. Like, what are you doing? Throwing shit out your car window.
I'll get to that story in a second, but old girl said I'm better than people who don't put their weights away. And that makes me laugh because I look at that as secret training. So if I'm in a class, I try to put my stuff away and try to put other people's stuff away. Because think of how many, I'm like, joke's on you guys. I'm making gains. Like when people leave dumbbells out, I just stole your farmer's carry. You know what I'm saying? So it's a two-sided. I actually have a workout partner at work who we rush to put our weights away so we could try to put the other dude's weights away, take each other's gains.
Public service announcement: put your weights away while you're still warm. Don't fuck around. Don't wait 10 minutes because I've been hurt doing that. I've literally been hurt doing that.
But she wanted me to tell a story about so I'm driving home. I'm off duty. I'm driving home and I see a shadowy figure into the abyss going like this. And I think to myself, this motherfucker better not have. And right before I could even finish the thought, I right on my car. And I don't know what these kids thought was going to happen. Or if they thought they were in a dark, secluded area. Because what
kind of car were you in? You weren't in your cop car.
No. Oh, hell. I was in my 2011 Honda.
Okay. Oh, and, sister car to Sousa's car.
It's so I pulled to the side. I leave the car on and everything. My car could have gotten stalled. I was very short. I was not thinking ahead of time. But open my door and I go and they start splitting. And I go and I kind of yelled a similar thing. I'm like, hey, I'm gaining on you. Better stop running. I'm in shape.
Talking shit while you're chasing him down.
Yep. And they split. And so then I can't, he's a boy, couldn't be, but 11 years old. And I stop him and I go, all right, you really gonna leave your boy here like that? I go, hey, whoever's with you is a sucker. See? Yeah. Sucker. But hey, lo and behold, it was his older sister. And she was scared out of her mind and came back. Now, look, I'm 6'1", about 230. I'd be scared too.
Yeah, they don't know you're a cop, do they?
No, they don't.
Clothes and
they don't.
Yeah.
And so they brought up, and so she comes back. I go, sit down. I go, all right, here's the deal. I'm trying to get home, but we about to go back to this car and find out what happened. We're going to find out if it's actually any paint damage. I ain't trying to call no police or anything like that. We just going to call your folks. However, we're going to give this phone number one try. You better hope to God that whoever we call either A, answers, or B, is actually your parent who could come get you, because the next one's just going to be the police because I don't got time to be playing with y'all. And it worked out, and the egg just washed off, and we were good. But
did you call their parents?
Hell yeah.
And did the parents come down?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
You know, and a lot, like, for example, like.
Were the parents cool?
Yeah, parents are cool. And it's that same situation. That same situation I told you where you kind of read the room. Yeah. Because some parents would just roll their eyes and then you know that it's a lost cause. Yeah. You know what I mean? But hell, if like I dealt with kids on the streets where I know like their eyes are this big. And so I get them to that threshold and then bring it back. Yeah. And then go from there. But it's a great situation when you catch one of them and then all their friends dip. You go, you see that? Look at them running, just leaving you here out to dry. Mm-hmm. Suckers. I want you to keep this in mind when y'all about to do some stupid shit. You know what I mean? And you think it's a good idea and these dudes got your back. You guys are ride or die. Look, where they at right now? Suckers.
Damn, such a
Get your ass. Come over here. Come sit in the car real quick. Yeah, and then you go from there.
Blade, all this stuff that I'm seeing in the Bay Area, is it real? All these Walgreens and CVS is closing down, and people going in there with like just shopping bags and just loading shit up, and you just see like, you know, all the Asian employees just standing around filming it. Is that real? Is that a reality in the Bay Area? I mean, I'm looking here. It looks like just CVS and Walgreens are just leaving San Francisco. Like you just can't stay in business there because crime is rampant.
We're not to that level, but the way so many people are sue happy and corporations got so much bread just to shut people up without causing a stir or whatever it may be, employees are advised not to act. You know what I mean? Because then it's a
They even get
double-edged sword.
fired. Did you see at Lululemon that employees got fired for trying to stop a criminal?
Or I've dealt with thefts where the employee didn't want to deal with I guess this life's kind of they don't do it for me. Hey, it was cool. They'll give us more leeway. Where employees didn't want to press charges for robbery because they tried to stop the theft and they like just wanted it to go away.
Right.
And it turned the employee in their mind into a suspect. Like, oh, I shouldn't have stopped them. And so a lot of times,
oh shit, I didn't even think about that. Not to do anything.
Yeah, they're told not to do anything, and then if they do something, they're in trouble. Or if somebody gets there's somebody at the same time, there's some loss prevention officers full on Terry Tate office linebacker, boom, over a damn Hurley t-shirt.
Yeah, I approve.
They like, oh, I've been waiting my whole life for this moment. You know, they didn't get to play. You know, they made the team, but didn't get to play in high school, and they've been waiting 7 years for this moment.
Is crime in stores at an all-time high? What's it called? What is that called? Like commercial crime or theft?
Yeah, like what?
Retail. It looks like retail theft. It looks like in the Bay Area you can just do whatever you want.
Yeah, well, because I don't even know how many times it's not called on. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and so from just what I see, you know, it happens quite often. Is that just from what I see? I need to get up on these comments. From what I see, somebody asked if this was your deadlift bar.
I know they're assholes in there. Don't read it. Don't read it. Careful with them. You're never safe. You're never safe.
But just the things that I see, you know, there's a lot, and so I don't even know what doesn't get called on because it was only,
higher than 9 years ago,
or only that. Yeah,
and more brazen.
Yeah, just more like, all right, well, where'd you go? Because my girl always jokes with me because she tells me I would have a blast if I was homeless, and quite frankly, it's true. Like, I'm not going to tell you my documentary idea just in case I ever need to do it. I don't want somebody else to steal it from me.
Yeah.
But with how easily entertained I am, and how enabling we have become, I feel like I would be shredded without a care in the world every day that I woke up if I was homeless. And who knows? I could be completely wrong, but that's my thought. And so when the risk, there's a risk reward balance, a scale. No, like Thanos said, they need to be balanced. And so on one side you have risk, one side you have reward. And if it's too far skewed in either direction, then there's a problem. You know what I mean? So if you steal a box of Tic Tacs, you shouldn't be executed. You know, we shouldn't be this way. But on this way, if you absolutely have no fear of repercussions of robbing somebody or steal it or tuning somebody up, then that's a bad day too. You know what I'm saying? So it's important for that risk reward balance to restore itself. Now, are we ever going to be at a perfect level? Probably not. Perfection, that's unreasonable to ask. But we need that thing to stay within here, and I just get afraid that it starts, and then we need to pendulum back.
Homeless. What do you think about this statement? Homeless people are addicts, and addicts their job is stealing.
Well, generally speaking, a lot of times it happens because I've met, there's some homeless people that just be homeless, just cause, like they got tired of A, B, C, and D. Don't do any drugs. Just keep it moving. Work, under the door, work little contractor jobs, things like that. But then when you said addicts, a lot of times homeless people and addicts get bunched in the same thing. And addicts definitely, that's their job,
stealing shit.
It's their job to steal to support their habit.
Yeah,
that's their purpose in life.
Every day, all of us who live in areas where there's homeless people, meaning addicts, everyone you drive by, those are all criminals. Those are career criminals. Those are like, I need to get high. I'm going to climb into this backyard. I'm going to take this bike. I'm going to sell it for a rock, and then I'm going to chill. I'm going to take the rest of the afternoon off.
And then if I get caught, what you going to do? Throw me in jail? I'll be out, whatever. And that's where the risk reward needs to line up. Because if you need to do this, this, and this, and all three of them are wrong, but on the other end, there's no reason not to. Why not? What you going to do? Give me a shelter and a meal? Oh, you know what I mean? I'm homeless anyway.
Stephen Flores, this is a weird one, but I don't disapprove.
I love me with the scenario being correct. I love me some homeless folks. I stop and talk to them all the time. Like when I'm out on the streets, I see somebody walking, I view them differently than how a common person might. Right. You know what I'm saying?
They avoid them like the plague.
One time I was leaving my daughter's gymnastics class, and you probably know the smell of meth. I remember walking out and I was like, for real? And then I walk over a few
burning
cars.
Burning plastic, basically.
And right towards the front, somebody's up in their car.
It kind of smells like semen, right? It smells like semen a little bit, and burning plastic.
Weird.
That's actually not bad. A bad analogy. I wouldn't have been able to explain that to nobody. I would have been like, I don't know, just go smell it. That's not bad. And so I remember I went and I was like, hey, just a lot of times, kind of like Hiller's video, where a lot of times if you just come at somebody the right way and you're not afraid, you're good to go. And so I was like, hey man, this is a gymnastics studio right here. Can we keep it? You don't even have to leave the lot. Just go in that back corner for your boy, please. Good. Kept it moving.
What did you think about that video? You're talking about Hiller in the hallway. That was pretty good,
hallway.
Right? That was pretty good, right?
Yeah.
He could be a cop. Hiller could be a cop.
Maybe.
Yeah.
He he's built more like how I'd like to see somebody, because you gotta think.
You can't be juiced up though and be a cop, right? That's illegal.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, probably not.
Oh.
But
really?
Ain't it crazy? You could I'm not going down that slippery slope on it.
Yeah, you could be easily out of shape and underqualified, but you can't be TRT.
But let's talk. I might be getting, now, hopefully not, but there may be a day where I'm getting my ass whooped one day. And the first person I see coming around that corner, I need them to unwhoop my ass. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Not just get their ass whoop me or be useless or just have a taser just trying to aim it. There's like two little freaking lasers that you gotta aim up. No, we need to make it happen. Like that foot chase I told you I was in. Everybody that caught up, we were good to go. We were like, all right, cool. It allows you to settle down. You know what I mean? Because speaking of CrossFit, when you're in a CrossFit workout and you're in your first 6 months and you finally got all the movements and you go full send way too early on the first round of the assault bike, and it's a 4-round workout and you finish your first round, and then that panic hits, like, oh Lord, it was at this moment he knew. Then all of a sudden you forget how to function and things like that. But then as you continue, like if you've never felt that feeling of you lose function, you forget training, things like that. And so that's where fitness in law enforcement is more important than just than just being jacked. Yeah, looking like having tight sleeves is cool. You know what I mean? Looking good in uniform is cool. But if you've never felt what it's like to get punched in the face, and I'm not even talking literally, I'm talking that your central nervous system been punched in the face before and you having to get some shit done real quick. That's very important. You don't want your first time to be when somebody's trying to hurt you back.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You'd rather your first time be on some mats.
Right.
You know what I mean? You'd rather your first time be against a barbell. You'd rather your first time feeling that feeling, having to function under freaking crazy fatigue anywhere but on the gravel with somebody who wants to hurt you or somebody who's getting hurt that you care about is right there. You can't do anything about it.
In like a controlled environment, when you see a cop that is maybe not as fit or whatever, does it diminish your trust in them? Like if you go and you got somebody who's coming up and you're like, I know you haven't worked out in years. You're like, why did you put me on duty with this dude? They're not going to be able to get my back.
Yeah. So this situation, okay. So more often than not, when I'm dealing with a person, there's more than one of us. And so there's sometimes where you're like, okay, like he moves out of state, but one of my best buds in the department, he was like 5'9", 250, and just a brick. Strong, worked out with me, could get some shit done. He's one of those dudes built like he's dangerous within a 2-minute window. Don't let him get out of that 2-minute window, but he's dangerous.
He's a 20-yard line guy.
Window. And when we were somewhere,
That's what I told my wife. I'm dangerous in that 2-minute window.
But when we were but when I'm somewhere with him and we're talking, one, it's cool because we're probably some of the most imposing people we were the most imposing people within the department, but we were cool. Like we were the least likely to have to tear somebody up because we were just cool. We were calm, collected, and we knew if it went away, we each were ready. You know what I'm saying? But on the flip side, there's sometimes where you're like, all right, if something happens here, I might be on my own.
Mm-hmm.
There have been situations like that, unfortunately, where like something happens here, might somebody be able to help a little bit, maybe, but this might be a bad day, or they lose your composure because when you're in shape, it gives you a level of confidence as well. Mm-hmm. Just whether it's the way you stand and talk to people, that could stop. I don't know how many fights my demeanor and stature have not gotten me in. Does that make sense?
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I've not gotten in 50 extra fights just because the way I talk and the way I look and carry myself. Hell, I know I've not gotten in one foot pursuit because the way I look. I got out the car and after I took the dude to jail, he said, "Could I say something without sounding racist?" I said, "What?" He's like, "When you got out the car, I was going to run. If your partner was there first, I saw your partner. If your partner was there first, I probably would have ran. But then I saw you, and I was like, dang, he black and in shape. He gonna catch
No, I don't see color. I swear
to God. And I started laughing. I'm like, hey, that ain't no dang racist. That's a compliment. I appreciate it. And so we just kept it moving. But a lot of times, yeah, your stature, how well you take care of yourself. Just think of the difference. If you're getting whooped on, then depending on the situation, you don't know what happened. We're talking the way circumstances line up. A high level of force needs to be used. And like, let's say, let's go to the extreme. Deadly force needed to be used. And if that deadly force could have been eliminated by either A, your command presence to begin with, or B, you dealt with the situation swiftly and quickly, then that's better. That's a W right there for yourself, for the department, for whoever that was who might have just been having a bad day.
Mm-hmm.
They might not even be a piece of shit. They were just having a bad day, and then they happen to roll up on you. But it's unfortunate because we're too far into the shit where we are right now to just tomorrow, okay, physical standards every year. Like as an operator, like SWAT teams. Some you have to do their entry test every year. Some you have to do it every quarter. Some you have to do it every 6 months. And I don't know how we would implement it without losing a lot of cops. But just take the SWAT standards and take 75% of every movement. So let's say you have to be able to run to be a SWAT operator. Let's say you have to be able to run a mile in full uniform in 12 minutes, right? Then for standard, take 80% of that, and hell, even lose the uniform, just be able to do it. Or you have to be able to get over this wall, 6 foot wall. I think that's the academy height. Annually, just make sure you're touching up on your game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Annually, whatever it may be.
It's crazy.
And so
exist.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Sousa's gym. Like I heard there's a police. Sousa, ain't there a cop that goes in your gym and will just hit a set of pull-ups every now and again?
Yep, full uniform.
You know what I'm saying? Things like that. And that's something.
Mm-hmm.
That's something I try. My goal. I want to be able to do. I'd always be able to do 20 strict pull-ups anytime I want. No warm-up, full uniform.
Oh,
That's
I love it. Wow.
The goal's 35.
I love that.
But
God, you're a good dude.
But 20. God damn. 20 every time. You know what I mean? And that's on the top end. Everybody doesn't need to do that, and I understand that. But
why can't you? What could you adjust people their pay on their fitness? Could you do that?
So that would be a way to do it. I would say you'd have a hard time docking somebody's pay.
Or how about giving bonuses?
That's where it would be. A bonus if you can do this, this, and this. Now, I don't think it would bring everybody to the light, but I do think it would definitely change some things.
And you could even have it. You could make it really fair. You could do it by age.
Yeah, you
know what I mean? No,
you don't want to get in that because Joe Criminal don't care if you 47.
All right, fine. Fuck age. I don't.
Joe Criminal don't care if you
guys. Fuck the old guys.
If you 5'3".
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so
what would you think what would you think would be good tests? Running?
I would think a mile is a little excessive because what you look like chasing somebody for a mile, that's just inefficient. Get in your damn car with your sirens in.
Right. Okay.
Get them. But a 400 meter, maybe
Okay.
maybe a 600 meter in whatever time.
Nothing's in stone here. It's just me and you and Sousa talking. But what's a good 400 meter time? Let me throw something out there so you guys can laugh at me. Minute and five.
Minute 5.
Too slow for you.
Hold on. 400 meters in a
That's
minute and 5 seconds?
Yeah.
That's 65 seconds. That's fast.
Bro,
Yeah,
that's cooking.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's gotta be
okay.
probably 145. Under 2 minutes would probably be. And one of the other things, and I've done
for
with
a 400. Okay,
Yeah, you gotta
all
think
right.
that's on
All
pace for a 420 miles, Sevy.
I know, but it's 400.
Yeah, but I could do it, but that's not. But we
Okay. We need some cops to. Okay.
And I think more
I'm talking about for the bonus. I'm talking for. Oh, I like this too, Mike. I'm talking about this. I like this too. The beep test.
Yeah.
Hey,
So what do you
hold on.
think?
You're talking for a bonus, not just entry level. You fired.
Yeah. I'm talking about for the bonus.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay, but I'd still say a minute because
minute 15.
you don't want to break the band. You know the term breaking the band, like you figure, fuck it, ain't no way I'm getting there.
Right.
Because the point of what we're saying right now is to get people to want to do it. So a minute 5, that would just take the 7 people that could already do it, and we would be there, and then maybe one person who's close, and they would do it. We want to make it. We want to dangle that carrot close enough to where a mass group of people are like, "Oh, okay, I could do that." You know what I mean? And so, I would say, I would like a 600 meter.
What's
600.
What's your 50 burpee time, Blade? Do you know? You think you could? Do you have 50 burpees in 2 minutes?
I can do 50 burpees in 2 minutes.
Which is pretty crazy for a big.
Hey,
guy.
I almost went Andrew Hiller on you right now. I was like, hey, let's see.
And more importantly than a one-time test is actually, and I use this for the fire department, I would rather have them run a 400 meter, a 1-to-1 work to rest ratio. So if it takes you 1 minute to run it, you have 1 minute of rest. And then I'm more curious about your second 400 meter, because that's going to be indicative of how well you've kept up on your fitness. Not if you could just blow your load in one shot, but can you do it at a really high output, recover, and then do it again? And what are those two differences in time? Because that to me is going to show more indicative of your recovery and your overall fitness than just one 400 meter run.
Caleb, I don't know if you can show what I just sent you. Gabe just sent us something. I don't know if it's if we're allowed to put. Gabe, are we allowed to pull that up? Gabe from Paper Street Coffee. Are we allowed to show that what you just sent us? It's a 2016 DEA Drug Enforcement Agency Physical Task Test Assessment Rating Scale. Oh, okay. And they have a 300 meter sprint time on here. Oh, they have the 300 meter sprint.
Which also not bad. Like just whatever you have. Or make it a lot of times we take our test as a group and we go to the next station as a group, and make it just one sweeping obstacle course. Your run into the wall, into this, into this, into this, and then your time at the end of the course. You know, there's I love all the programming shows that you have, and I love Get With The Programming. I love that stuff. Look, I got my little board right there that I do. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh yeah.
I got my little board on the door. I love that stuff. And so I could go hours and just thinking like a great test, but just something. That's the common denominator of this. I don't know how many people in the comments have their suggestions, or how many different people
fuck their suggestions.
You know what I mean? But the common denominator is something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at some of these times. They got the 300 meter sprint time for men. It basically starts at 41 seconds as the fastest, and then if you're over 55 seconds, you shit the bed.
Yeah. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Gabe said, I guess his sister just took this test and did was top of her class.
See, and that's cracking. And
listen to you, golfy, foxy, trotty, Yankee. I with fast burpees, I really want to see what the person's hip extension looks like. Shut it.
Hey,
oh my goodness.
How much do you weigh again? How much do you weigh?
Man, I'm about 235 right now.
God, dude, I would
get
back to me on that. Let me see those 50 burpees in 2 minutes. That's incredible. And how old are you? You're 39, 35?
33.
33.
Hey, pull that back.
Hey, I would have guessed, honestly, I would have guessed like 28 or something until you said you had 3 kids. I always forget about that. I'm like, oh, he's old as fuck. He's tired. He's tired.
No, but let's see. Oh yeah, no. Well, homeboy had a valid point though, because when you're moving fast, that's valid. You know what I mean? Because well, Hiller makes his bread and butter off people who short their hips on burpees and short their reps.
Yeah.
But that would be another thing. People passing the test and their reps look like ass. You know, push-ups that we had a dude, because in the academy, I think it's max push-ups in 2 minutes. Now he was more than capable of doing everything he needed to do. But he got like an ungodly number, but ain't them lockouts though. There ain't them lockouts. I don't know if y'all ever seen a DB in football drop a pick and they do them little just as a joke, like, I dropped that pick, that's all me. But
RFK recently, did you see Robert Kennedy? He's all juiced up running for president and he's doing push-ups. Did you see that?
Yes.
You see him? You know what I'm talking about? And his push-ups for sure. But I'm okay with it. I'm not hating.
Short one thing. So let's say I post a video and I'm doing bench and I'm doing like these kind of reps, 3/4 reps.
Yeah.
Don't forget, those are still hard.
Yeah.
So I wanna shore up the culture of. So let's look at this video. I would go half, 1, half, 2, half, 3.
Okay.
Half. You know, don't say 0, 0, 0, because
all right.
Now in a competition, those don't count 0, 0, 0. But if you got 315 and you're hitting reps like this and you do 20, people be like, not one rep was done. Okay.
I can't
Nah.
even unrack it. So we're
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So let's keep perspective here. Quit overcorrecting.
I'll
It's
give
not-
that guy credit for the way he got on the ground at 70. That was crazy.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Because that's
Yeah.
overlooked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like Turkish get-ups. Like that would be something that if I was like training older people for function, that would be a goal. I wouldn't tell them and show them a Turkish get-up off rip, but I'd be training them for a Turkish get-up
Mhm.
for a while. Because if you can do a Turkish get-up, you're set for life almost. You know what I mean?
Do they measure body fat percentage, skeletal muscle mass, anything like an
No,
embodied
we
standard?
don't. No, all we have from a medical thing. Well, actually, so my department, it's cool because you know they say shit rolls downhill. Well, with us, I don't know what the saying would be, but you know, gold rolls downhill because a lot of our brass they lift. Like I went into one of our captains. Which one's higher, blue belt or brown belt?
Brown belt.
I think he's a brown in jiu-jitsu. He's cold and
Yeah, that's
He
a
got-
hard belt to get to. That's
Yeah.
a hard
he got
belt to
like
get to.
20-inch biceps and he don't even lift. Like dude's just a tank of a human. And,
TRT.
and we get an hour of we get an hour of paid workout time during our shift. And so you go into our room and it reflects that our brass lifts. It's rogue rigs, good bars, plenty of weights. One of our sergeants, when he got promoted to lieutenant, I told people, I was like, hey, now we're gonna get rings. Watch. And sure enough, I helped them install rings like 2 months later. You know what I mean? Things like that. So our brass lifts and it shows within our department. I can't speak for everybody though.
Gentlemen, I'm going to tennis.
Oh shit, that was a fast 90 minutes.
90 minutes with the blade this morning.
Oh snap! Damn!
You're a good dude. Thanks for
That
doing this,
escalated
man.
quickly, huh?
I know getting 90 minutes from someone who's working full-time, got a wife, 3 kids. I know it's a lot, and I really appreciate you coming on. I can't thank you enough. It's fun hanging with you. It's good for people to get to know you. You're a good dude, man. I'm glad I live close to you. Glad there's people like you in my community.
Hey,
Yep.
The love is mutual, homeboy.
All right, brother. Mr. Souza, Caleb, Blade, I will see you guys all very shortly. Everyone have a great weekend. Don't forget to watch the UFC fights tonight. Holy shit. It's going to be wild. All right, everyone.
Well,
have a good
y'all
one.
be good, man.
All right. Bye-bye.